The carnivore diet. Obviously, a lot of people talking about this new lifestyle.
So the carnivore diet isn't a thing because every carnivore diet that someone adopts is a variation relative to each individual carnivore diet.
And I thought I'd just say a few words on it and how dangerous it can be.
What would be dangerous about the way humans have always eaten? If it was dangerous, we wouldn't be here even talking about how dangerous it could possibly be.
The problem is that people are not really understanding how to heal the body, to find the root cause of healing the body.
Why are we getting thousands upon thousands of success stories that say otherwise, that we are healing? Stories of people reversing MS, stage 4 cancer.
And it's almost like they want to stop symptoms.
I don't think anyone would say, I'm not doing this diet because all my symptoms will go away. I think that's pretty good personally. Getting rid of the root causes is just a happenstance of eating the proper food.
Because the carnivore diet acts very similar to drugs.
In the quiet words of the Virgin Mary, come again.
It's nothing like drugs. And if you think that drugs are mostly derived from the plant kingdom,
Heroin is from the opium poppy and cocaine is from the coca plant.
tobacco plants, alcohol.
Morphine is, again, the opium poppy, isn't it? So if we're going to talk about what is a drug-related diet, then plants would be it. And I think everybody knows that plants are medicinal. I don't think I've ever had extract of lion making a medication.
The whole reason why people go onto this crazy elimination diet because they can't digest fiber, or they think they can't digest fiber.
No human being on the planet can digest fiber. It's indigestible for humans. So this guy is obviously misunderstanding what fiber really is. It's a complex carbohydrate we can't digest.
All you're doing is restricting yourself so much, and you're not eating any fiber, therefore your symptoms go away. That doesn't mean you're actually healing your body.
So we're not technically restricting anything because we're getting everything we need from fatty red meat. It's a complete food, much like eggs. Fiber isn't essential, so we're not restricting fiber. We're just not eating something that's indigestible for human beings.
Animal protein increases your risk of getting IBD.
Goodness gracious.
I can actually use that study, when you look at the real numbers, to prove that animal protein doesn't cause IBD. There were 77 cases of IBD over 10 years from 67,500 people. So the absolute annual risk of getting IBD is 0.01%.
Wow.
So it's a terrible study to flash up on the screen. He obviously doesn't know how to read it. By the way, the reason he thinks it's good is because they use relative risk, and it can make things sound a lot more impactful than absolute risk. When you look at the absolute numbers, it says nothing about animal protein being dangerous.
Got some beautiful antioxidant-rich blueberries here. This is where you get your anti-aging from. The antioxidants in plant foods.
Fruits and vegetables contain antioxidants.
False.
When we consume toxins in plants, the body increases its own master antioxidant glutathione, combating and trying to mitigate the toxic effects of that plant.
Which is what scientists are seeing, and this is why they believe that it's an antioxidant response.
And if you're on blood thinners, please don't eat blueberries. And if you're on cholesterol lowering medication, please don't eat blueberries because they interact with that medication, because there's a thing called pterostilbene in it, a compound that you definitely want to avoid. Don't forget, blueberries, the ones you get in the supermarket, are a product of hybridization over many years. So it's not a natural food.
Whenever they go to the toilet too often, what happens with the carnivore diet? They get plugged up because they're not eating any fiber.
Okay, so when most people go carnivore overnight, which I wouldn't recommend, I would say the vast majority, if anything, experience the opposite. They experience a bit of a faster output, and so need to pull back on fat. And really, ideally, they would have liked to have transitioned a bit slowly because the microbiome, etc., is going to struggle to adjust at such a rapid pace.
Fiber is indigestible, so it's going to go down the toilet. It's adding bulk. So obviously, when you remove that, you're going to feel like maybe I'm not going to the toilet enough. Well, you're not eating stuff that just ends up down the toilet.
And to quote Paul Mason, everybody knows that you don't need fiber to open your bowels. All you have to do is to change a breastfed baby's nappy.
And that's the whole reason why people go onto this crazy elimination diet. And this is where it leads to all these people saying that, you know, plant foods have toxins in them and, you know, they can't digest in our digestive system.
And the reason we say there's plant toxins is because there are. Plants defend themselves. If they didn't defend themselves, they wouldn't exist. Nature is wonderful at getting the balance right. So they have a defense chemical. So those animals that eat those plants can't eat them till they're completely depleted across the world.
So they go and eat only meat, you know. And that's a very, very sustainable way of living, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Just eating meat. That's disgusting. So they go and eat only meat. And that's a very, very sustainable way of living, isn't it? Just eating meat. That's disgusting. It's like people say the vegan diet is restrictive.
And what they've eliminated means they now have to supplement things like B12. I would also recommend supplementing omega-3 fatty acids, potentially taurine and things like this.
And here we have these people just solely eating meat. It doesn't really make sense to do that and think that, oh, this is some glorified, you know, lifestyle.
When we eliminate the plants, we don't have to supplement because our food is complete.
People that don't have IBD and eat animal foods, or animal protein specifically, and saturated fat, but when they eat animal protein, there is actually an increased risk of getting IBD.
Ideology is what we're getting here.
And I have so many success stories where people have reversed Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome by eating this way.
For people that have IBD that go and eat meat, you're going to make it even worse for yourself. Also, your microbiome is going to suffer, and you're going to be producing the wrong types of bacteria in your gut.
The bacteria that you may find in the colon based on what you're eating is never wrong because your body's a genius. Your body's is doing everything for a reason. It's about the inputs, not about the bacteria. Don't try and micromanage your biota. Manage your diet. Eat a species appropriate diet. Eat a natural human diet, not micromanage biota by, you know, finding different colorful toxic plant foods from all around the globe.
Because the colon's job, okay, is an elimination organ.
Is totally made up. Pure fiction.
Why would we reabsorb water and sodium in that organ?
You've got waste transiting through it, but the body says, oh no, actually we can use that, we can use that.
And it houses our beautiful microbiome, that which actually give us a lot of good things.
Well, let's get specific.
The thing about the colon there, where he says it produces all these beautiful things, well, in vegans, it's things like gas because of the fermentation.
Which actually benefits our human body. So the idea that you want to be stopping prebiotic-rich foods, which is fiber, is absurd.
I've had my alpha diversity tested, which is basically a poop test. And apparently my colon bacteria is optimal. And we've also got the story of Ben Azadi, who runs Keto Camp, who tried 90 days carnivore. And he was pretty clean eating before that. And he had his gut microbiome and all of his alpha diversity tested. And after 90 days of carnivore, it improved dramatically.
Just because you can't digest fiber, that doesn't mean that you know, you have to go and eat something else, or you're going to have to do this carnivore thing to try and stop your symptoms. Again, it's not about symptom relief. We're actually trying to find the root cause here, and eating just meat is not resolving or solving your problem.
Meanwhile,
I can say right now I am in full remission from my colitis on no medications, simply from improvements in diet alone. A carnivore diet has gotten me back to being in full remission from colitis as if I'd never had. To any vegans who are going to come here and try to dispute that you can heal colitis on a plant-based diet, like you can have colitis while being on a plant-based diet, okay, you can. I did it for 4 years. It continually gave me digestive issues.
You go and start eating fiber again, or you'll never be able to go and eat fiber again because you've just toxified your whole body. Not only the toxic, you know, byproducts from eating animal protein or animal products because of the rotting animal flesh inside of your gut, which produces all sorts of bacteria that you don't want because it's rotting bacteria.
Can you think of a single toxic compound which is a byproduct of eating real species appropriate food like meat?
I just can't think of any either.
I had an ileostomy surgery, and so I'm without a colon now. I have to wear a bag, and so I see the state that food's in as it would enter the colon. We've heard that red meat gets wedged and stuck in your colon, it rots. Well,
you've experimented with meat and actually tried to swallow partially chewed hunks of meat, and you've yet to see a piece of meat in your ostomy bag. Is that?
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
It's just like a rubbish bin. You know, if you chuck some meat in there, it starts rotting.
When you would chew plant foods thoroughly, you would still see evidence of it in the bag. You would see
I've never even seen any recognizable content coming from meat or any animal products, because that's the job of the stomach, to break down the meat, liberating amino acids, fatty acids, to be assimilated in the small intestine. It's now a liquid form. How is that going to get stuck? And how is that rotting in the colon?
So it's probably one of the biggest lies out there that this so-called carnivore diet is going to help you heal.
Seriously, son?
And it doesn't work.
It does work. I mean, it's that simple. You keep saying things that have no basis in reality.
I'm not claiming that my diet is superior. I'm claiming that my diet, or the food that I eat, allows the gut to do the work.
I don't want to work.
Please, anyone out there that is on the carnivore diet that is showing everything they eat pretty much every single day, please, for the last 10 years.
We've got people that have been doing this way of eating for 60 odd years, 50. I know of one who's been on my channel 41 years eating carnivore. So I think that's pretty sustainable. Many in their 20-year, 25-year span, countless ones in decades. I'm 6 years into it, and I know just hundreds and hundreds of people, and there's millions of people across the planet that are doing this way of eating.
The carnivore diet, again, you're focusing on symptoms. We're not focusing on symptoms. We don't want to focus on symptoms. We want to focus on how the body can heal by itself.
And they are seeing resolution of their problems at a root cause level.
Please go and do a marathon.
Sure thing.
Please go and do an ultra marathon.
You got it.
Okay, and then tell me your diet is adequate.
Alrighty then.
I am an advanced personal trainer, and I have had people get to the Olympics eating this way. Many athletes, if they've got an edge or they're doing something that is making them perform better, they are not going to give away their secrets. And if they're sponsored, for instance, by someone like Lucozade or an energy drink, they're not allowed to say that they're carnivore. So there are many athletes that are carnivore, can't even tell you.
When you start eating fiber, why do you go all of a sudden? Why are you going to the bathroom more?
Fiber is indigestible, so it's going to go down the toilet.
It's because your body is trying to heal. It's trying to get rid of all the crap that you've put in it.
Are you serious?
Just because you go and eat some kind of beef or whatever, cow,
That just makes no sense.
that doesn't mean that you're healed. Like, go and eat all the different foods that I eat, please.
I'd take a pass on that one if I were you.
I don't take any supplements except for B12.
I like how he says he doesn't take any supplements apart from the supplements he takes.
No vitamin C, because here are the vitamin C rich foods. Meat doesn't give you vitamin C.
Vitamin C is in meat. And because we're not eating lots of plants that have loads of non-heme iron, which needs a load of vitamin C to make it heme iron, which is bioavailable, we're doing really well, thanks.
And also, we're not synthesizing collagen or carnitine, which also requires vitamin C. Carbohydrates that break down to glucose, that's always in competition with vitamin C. So we don't have that. That frees up all that vitamin C that we do find in meat, around 12 milligrams per 12 ounces. That meets all of our needs, which is why no carnivore on the planet gets scurvy.
So, no deficiencies here, guys. No deficiencies.
Okay.
I don't want to kill any animals.
If you don't want to kill any animals, you will not be able to eat anything.
Our eyes, our nose, and our mouths do not indicate, our instincts do not say, go and kill an animal.
Hunting is a natural instinct. So much evidence. If you look at cave paintings, if you look at archaeological digs where they find tools, we have been eating and hunting animals to survive for hundreds of thousands of years.
Kill an animal and eat its blood.
That just makes no sense.
You know, tear it apart, eat it raw, and you know, as soon as an animal dies, it stinks. It starts rotting straight away, and you know, this doesn't do that.
As soon as anything dies, it starts to rot and stink. That's just the way it is. Composition, decomposition, recomposition. That's the way life works. That's the way the world works. That's plants, animals, life.
When you pluck a blueberry from the bush, it doesn't start rotting.
Yeah, if you've got a bowl of fruit out, go back to it 4 days later, see if it smells lovely and fresh. Maybe it will more than an organic bowl, because there's so many ways that they've tried to extend the shelf life of these fruit and veg. But I tell you, a couple of weeks later, you will have just a bowl of rotting fruit that stinks.
The carnivore diet is so good, then please back it up.
Plenty of people on this way of eating have reversed their ulcerative colitis, no medications. They're thriving, they're glowing with health, they're happy, and they don't plan on changing anything because it works. Look, I'm happy this guy's out of trouble. A goal of mine wouldn't be to run a marathon. I don't believe it's healthy. I'm not interested. You know, if he is and he's achieved those goals, fantastic. But I do think you're being a little bit dogmatic, and you do lack some understanding here with a lot of your claims. You're not really stating, you know, any kind of specifics.
I've done a whole thing about the fact we require 0 carbohydrates in studies 1999, 2005 and 2021. All the big nutritional dietary working groups all absolutely nailed on say we require 0 carbohydrates from the diet. One actually says the only reason that we recommend at least 50 grams of carbohydrates is to stop you getting in ketosis.
Oh my